Hey, I'm Kevin. I like to talk about queer stuff and Jesus, and today we're talking about sex. So I grew up in evangelicalism, which means that I had a few things drilled into my head. First, Jesus loves you so much. The second, hell is definitely real, and thank God that Jesus died for our sins to save us from horrible conscious torment for all of eternity, right? And the third thing was, don't have sex, period. It's most of our sexual education was that Mean Girls moment where it's don't have sex, or you're gonna get pregnant and die. And that was pretty much it. And then we got divided up into boys and girls, and the girls usually heard that if you have sex before marriage, it's gonna be taking the rose of your virginity and just picking it apart. It'll be a crushed flower on your wedding day, or a tape that loses its stickiness, or bubble gum that had already been chewed. Ew. And boys, well, we generally heard that we need to keep it in our pants and that we should keep a safe distance from girls because they are so tempting. And we also had to treat women with the utmost respect while also making sure that we take up our role as the patriarchal head of the household. And, if you're queer, add on top of that all the messy and gross messages about homosexuality is gross, and men shouldn't be wearing dresses, and girls need to be girly, not butch because they're supposed to be rescued, right? And then fast forward 10 to 15 years, you got out of the house, you went to a liberal arts college, you listen to NPR, and you're queer now. Or maybe queer adjacent, or you're queer affirming. You got through the deconstruction stuff, and you're still working to figure out what you believe, and better yet, you're trying to figure out why you believe what you do. And one area that for many of us is still very icky is romance, dating, and sex. Again, we grew up in highly conservative places, and we don't prepare ourselves, and we couldn't be prepared to tread these waters because all we heard was sex is bad, don't do it until you're heterosexually married. So how do we, as critical thinkers, progressive-minded folks, begin to unpack the suitcase of romance, love, sex, relationships? Well, it's that we start, which is where I'm going with a lot of my content going forward, at least in the coming semester. I want to talk about sex. I want to talk about desire and our bodies and about non-monogamy and theology and queer stuff and Jesus and family structures and kinky shit and sex toys and loving yourself well. I want to break down what we were taught about sex. I want you to get the tools in your life so that you can start forming your own sexual ethics and figure out how you're going to navigate your own sexual practices that are going to be life-giving to you and those around you. My hope is to unshame sex and destigmatize desire. And just for the record, I am without a doubt still a Christian. I hold the Bible in high regard. And oftentimes in these conversations, we tend to jettison the Bible when it doesn't exactly serve our end. But I want to dive deeper into the text. Why have we believed what we have for so long? Figure out how we got handed this very limited theological framework, and then kind of flip it on its head. I want to, if the Bible really has a lot of interesting things to say about sex, and it doesn't say anything about having to put a ring on it. So join me, won't you? If you want to watch the first video in the series called Good Christian Sex, go ahead and click the next video right here, or here. Anyways, if you want more stuff like this, like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube-y things. And then on top of that, comment below about any questions you might have about love or relationships, sex, faith, how it all intersects, how it all shakes out. I would love to hear from you and to make some things that you need. So comment below. And if you want more videos like this, go ahead and support me on Patreon. Even as little as $1 or $2 a month really makes a difference in the kind of content that we can put out here. So, love you, BBs. We'll see you next time on Good Christian Sex. Bye.